honestly, I'm trying to stay focused. You must think I got to be joking when I say you could be the one. Take it to me like you need it, baby.
So, boys and girls, I knew there was a reason why I put off filming something like this. Like, I knew in the back of my head there was a reason why I had not jumped on the bandwagon of filming an assumptions video, and you guys have let me know why. Let me just put the brightness down on the camera, it's really bright. Yeah, you guys did not hold back. Okay, I'm just gonna get into it and I'm just gonna start answering like your assumptions, I guess. Okay, the first assumption is you smoke. No, I do not smoke. I have never been a smoker. I've tried a cigarette, if we're gonna be like dead honest, but I feel like that's kind of a thing that most people do, I guess. I don't smoke. I don't like being around people that smoke. I hate the smell of it. Like, I don't know about anyone else, but I genuinely, like, it knocks me sick, especially on a night out as well. Like, I don't know what it is about when I've like had a drink and I'm on a night out, but if I go outside and I'm like near the smokers area, it just knocks me sick. Like, I just don't like the smell at all. I don't mind if other people smoke, like, if not that any of my close friends smoke either, but I don't mind. It's like, it doesn't bother me if other people do it because everyone's like entitled to do their own thing. But no, I don't smoke. You're a girl's girl and choose your friends over a man. That is 110% true. I don't know about anyone else, like my friends and my family as well, of course, but my friends in general, like, they just come before anything and anyone. Any boyfriends, like any guys that I'm seeing, not that I'm seeing anyone, but you know what I'm saying. Friends always come first for me. Like, I probably have 6 close friends that I can literally like count and name, and like they are genuinely my bestest, like closest friends, and I would do anything for them. Like, I'm such a girl's girl. I'm always conscious about like supporting my friends, being there for them because I know they're always there for me as well. Liv's assumption is you only do makeup for fun, which is like a yes and no answer. I actually don't wear makeup a lot. I don't know if you guys know that, but I genuinely, like, if I'm not filming and stuff, I don't tend to wear makeup that much. I pretty much only wear it if I'm like going out in the evening. If I've got like a day out plan, for example, like what am I trying to say? It's not very often that I actually wear like a full face of makeup because I don't really tend to do natural makeup either. Like, I would rather just have a bare face. You're quite shy when first meeting people, but then come out of your shell when comfortable. I would say that is like very accurate, and to be honest, I feel like a lot of people are like that, or maybe it's just me. Yeah, I can be quite shy when I first meet someone, I think, and I kind of like, I don't know, honestly, it depends what mood I'm in, but I can be quite quiet when I meet someone for the first time. So yeah, obviously like my family, my friends, like my closest friends and stuff, and people that I know really well, I'm like 100% like super comfortable around. But then people that I've only just met, I tend to just be a little bit more like, hello. This assumption's really funny given my current situation, but Grace basically said you like to drink a lot, which honestly, you're not going to believe me now that I'm like sat here with a glass of wine, but I actually don't drink that often. I pretty much only really drink if I'm going out, and then I'll maybe have like a glass of wine if I've gone out for like dinner or something, or if I'm sat with like having a chat with friends and we're having like a cozy night in, then we might have a glass of wine or whatever. But I pretty much only drink whenever I go out, not just out, which in that case I tend to drink like vodka and things like that because I feel like it's a lot better on my stomach and it doesn't make me feel ill the next day. But I'm actually a pretty good drunk as well, I think. I mean, I'm obviously going to say that, but I feel like if you ask my friends as well, like, I'm a pretty good drunk. Like, I don't really ever get like too drunk to the point where I don't know what's going on, or like, I don't know, I'm a pretty like responsible person, I like to think, when it comes to drinking. So not really, but like, you can't beat a glass of wine every now and then, do you know what I'm saying? Okay, George said you've never been in a toxic relationship. That's actually not true. I would say like my first serious boyfriend that I had when I was like in high school and college, I feel like I mentioned it a couple of times on my channel, that was quite like a toxic relationship, and it was just not the best, kind of like on both sides. Like, it wasn't like all him or all me or whatever. It was just, I feel like we were very young and we just kind of like were so wrapped up in being together, and it just kind of got like quite intense and like a bit too much, and it was just like very toxic. But there's no like hard feelings now, like we're kind of civil and things like that, which is nice. I don't really have any like bad blood with anyone, so yeah. You haven't talked about your breakup because it went down ugly. This is actually not true. Oh, there's so many like assumptions and questions and things about like my recent breakup, I guess you could say. I feel a bit uncomfortable talking about it, not because there was anything like weird that went on, like there was no cheating, there was no like foul play, like any of that, because there's a lot of assumptions about that as well. Like there was none of that. I don't really want to have to address it again, so I feel like I'm just going to say it now. Obviously, like, I am single, I'm not in a relationship anymore, but I don't also really want to like share the ins and outs of like why we split up and why things happened, just because I feel like it would be unfair and like disrespectful of me to speak about that on both of our behalves when it's just me sat talking here, if that makes sense. Like I don't really want to share stuff on his part as well when he's not here to like talk about it himself. But it wasn't like necessarily a bad breakup or like a sour breakup or whatever. It wasn't for like a really bad reason or anything like that. It just simply wasn't meant to be, I guess. So hopefully that answers that question. Do you know what? I really didn't even want to bring it up because I feel like I've kind of mentioned it, but there's clearly still people that like are unsure about it or don't know. So hopefully that answers any questions that you guys have. I'm sorry that it's not like loads of like gossip and tea, which is probably what you were after, but it's just like, yeah, it's just like a private thing, I guess. And yeah. Okay, so Liv said you're scared of being alone. There was actually a couple of like assumptions about this, like you're worried about being lonely or you're scared about being alone or whatever else. It's kind of interesting to talk about because I feel like there was a stage in my life when I was living in the flat where I was like so super lonely, but then I feel like I also wasn't in the best headspace mentally. So it's kind of interesting to talk about it now compared to how I felt like a couple of years ago, because I was just like not in a good place at all. I'm just like a lot more happier now, and to be honest, I don't really mind being alone. The feeling of being lonely still like scares me because it's actually quite a sad feeling. Like, if anyone can relate, like feeling lonely is just like not a nice thing at all. But to be honest, I'm more okay with being alone at the minute. I just feel like I'm a lot more sure of like myself and things around me and things like that. Like I feel a lot more in control of my life at the minute, if that makes any sense, and I just feel a lot more me, a lot happier. Yeah, I don't know, I don't really like get scared of being alone, but I definitely do get scared of the idea of being lonely again, because after like feeling like that for however many months, it was just not nice at all. Like it was just not a nice feeling, and yeah, it's not something that I would ever wish on anyone. I assume that you were always the popular girl / mean girl at school. I don't think I was mean. I don't know, I feel like my year we had, it's kind of interesting to talk about. If you're talking about high school, by the way, it's kind of interesting to talk about because things definitely like changed throughout the years at high school. I definitely don't think I was like mean to anyone. In terms of being popular, I feel like I got on with everyone, so I was like friends with everyone, but kind of like we were all just a year that was all friends with each other, if that makes sense. So everyone had quite big friend groups, and like to some degree like everyone just knew everyone and was like nice to each other, like most of the time anyway. I hope no one thought I was a mean girl. Like I can't really think of any instance where I was mean to people. Like I have never, after being bullied like quite badly in primary school, I was just like, what, you know how it feels like if you've been picked on and like bullied, and you're just the sort of person that would not inflict that on someone else because it's just not a nice feeling. So yeah, I don't think I'm mean. Okay, this one actually pops up a lot, and I feel like I really want to address it because I'm actually quite confused as to whether people genuinely think this. But someone said, I assume that you and Jordan don't get along anymore. And I'm so confused as to why, like, do people genuinely think that? Like, I'm confused. And let me tell you why I'm confused, okay? Firstly, the stories that were before my assumption ones were the stories from Paris, and there's literally a story of me and Jordan sat at a table together, like, cheersing our little wine glasses, like, basic bitches. And I literally tagged her in it and was like, my baby George. Like, Jordan is still one of my closest friends. I don't really know why people assume that, because it wasn't just one person that asked it. I feel like when me, Mads and Rach all uploaded our collab videos, I think it was like 2 weeks ago now, and there was a couple of comments being like, oh, like, where's Jordan? Like, why isn't Jordan in these? Or are you and Jordan not friends anymore? And it really confused me, because just because like we weren't with her and she wasn't in Manchester with us doesn't mean that we're not friends anymore. Like, obviously me and Matt spend a lot of time together, for example, because we both live in Manchester, so we get to see each other all the time. Rachel is actually in Manchester a lot at the minute. Like, she literally stayed at my house last night, and she's at Beauty Bay today. Like, I dropped her off at work. Like, she was my child. So yeah, I've been seeing Mads. I see Mads obviously like pretty much all the time, like at least every week. And Rachel I've been seeing a lot more recently because we have like similar events together in London. Same with Jordan, like I see her so much at events and things like that in London, but she's based down south and obviously I'm based in Manchester, so I don't really get the chance to see her unless she comes up here, I go down there, or we meet in London, which I'm actually seeing her on Monday for her birthday. She's having like a brunch in London, so I'm going to that. But yeah, it just kind of confused me. Just because like we're not together online and stuff doesn't mean that we're not friends. Like she's genuinely, like when I was saying before, I have 6 really close and good friends. Jordan is one of them. Like she's hands down one of my best friends. Like I love her to pieces. We speak every single week, if not more. She's like the sort of person as well, like we're not just friends through YouTube, like we chat about all sorts. Like I know for a fact that I could tell her like my deepest, darkest secrets, and like she would, you know, still love me and like not tell anyone or whatever. Like she's just a genuinely like good friend of mine. So many things about like stuff that I don't want to talk about. Okay, next assumption is you find Saffron Barker really annoying, which I don't know if some people are just genuinely like pluck this stuff out of thin air, or if people actually think these things. Like same with Jordan, like I'm confused. Saffron is like one of the just kindest people I know. I've actually known her for quite a while because we have the same management and we actually have the same manager. And yeah, I've known her for a good few like years now. Yeah, I've known her for quite a while, but I feel like when we became good friends is probably a couple of years ago in Ibiza, because we both had a trip with I Saw It First. And we basically like got home from a night in one night and ended up just like staying up for hours, just like talking about things and just like getting to know each other and things like that. And she's genuinely one of like the sweetest girls I know. Her and Anna, I just feel like are my little sisters. Like I just love them as if they were a sister. Like I feel quite protective of them. I don't know why, but they're just such lovely girls. Like I was obviously just with them in Miami with Soph as well. Like it was literally just the 4 of us and we had the best time. Okay, someone said you have a rich family. There was actually a couple of people that said this, and personally I would say that as a family, like it's pretty much just me, my mum and dad of course, and my brother, which Charlie lives in London now, so he's not actually living at home anymore. But as a family I wouldn't say we're rich. Like we're not rich, but we live comfortably, I guess. Yeah, we live comfortably. Like we go on holidays like once a year or whatever. We're just, yeah, we're very lucky to have what we have. We're not like crazy well off to the point where we just like spend money like it's nothing, but you know, we're okay, we're doing good. Okay, so Natalie said you're completely happy with your body. This is actually not true, and I don't know, I feel weird saying it's not true, but you know what, it is what it is. Like I feel like everyone has insecurities about their own body. The thing is, like when it's you, like obviously you see yourself every single day. Like I do my makeup every single day, I look at my face, I look at my body every single day. Like when you do that every single day, there's obviously going to be things that you like pluck out of thin air that, you know, aren't even things to worry about, but will then bother you a little bit. So there's definitely things that I'm not like obsessed with about myself, but it like by no means do I like hate myself at the same time or like dislike my body. Obviously I've started going to the gym a bit more, I've got a personal trainer now, I feel like I'm working. Do you know what, I feel like this year I'm really just like concentrating on me and just looking after myself, like taking care of myself, putting myself first, putting my feelings first, and just like doing what I want to do and what's going to make me happy. Oh my god, this one cracked me up. I was like, please tell me. Oh, okay, to be fair, she's put at the end, I don't think this. But she basically put, you're only mates with Mads because she has less subs with you and you think it makes you look good. I'm like, she said herself, like I don't think this, but I also hope there's no one else that thinks that, like, because I read that and my jaw just dropped. Like me and Rachel were just sat there reading them like, what? Where have people come up with this stuff? I don't understand. So me and Mads, fun fact, have actually been friends for quite a few years. We actually met, sorry, I think she's like texting me right now. Me and Mads have been friends for quite a few years now. We've actually known each other for probably like 4 years, I want to say, maybe like 3 or 4 years. We actually worked at Mac together, so that's basically how I know her. Sorry, I feel like I'm sat a bit off-centered. But we actually worked at Mac together, and that's kind of like how we got to know each other. Yeah, I basically left Mac first, so I left working at Mac before Mads did, and we kept in touch. Like we still saw each other every now and then after I'd left, because then she kind of left like soon after. She was actually doing like modelling full time before she started YouTube, and then obviously now we just are a lot closer in general because we have the same job. Like we, you know, know, we're very similar people. Like, it's actually crazy like how alike we are in terms of everything. We're just constantly like on the same page. Like, we have never argued, like never had an argument, we've never fallen out. I genuinely can't ever see myself falling out with Mads, which is why we're kind of thinking about moving in together and like living together and things like that, because we're just so on the same page with everything. That's crazy. I don't really know what to say about that. I mean, it also makes no sense because that's like saying, I mean, Rach and George have more subscribers than me, so like it doesn't really work. But yeah, it's nothing to do with that. We're just good friends. I fucking love her. Like, she's one of my favorite people ever. So yeah. I assume that you are really emotionally stable and are great at dealing with problems. Well, do you know what? I'm in a much better space mentally at the minute, so I feel like I'm better at dealing with problems now compared to maybe like 6 months ago. Yeah, I'm very reasonable and I'm very good at like processing stuff to some degree. It kind of depends what the situation is. Like, there's certain things that really like fuck me off, so there's certain things that like really just like upset me and get me going, but all in all, like, I'm pretty good at like dealing with situations. Oh my god, I've lost a nail, sorry, don't look at it. I'm very good, I think, with like dealing with situations and kind of processing things. There was another assumption about like how I don't mind change or I don't like change. I can't remember which one it was. I feel like I've just gotten a lot better at dealing with stuff like that, so like accepting certain things and accepting change and things like that. So to some degree, yes, but also some of my friends have literally seen me like leaving a club crying my eyes out. So you're super grateful for everything that YouTube has done for you. That is so true. And you know what, I feel like I don't say it enough. I feel like I try and show you guys how grateful I am by doing like things like Christmas party and stuff, but genuinely I have no words. I'm so grateful for everything that I have that is my life. Like, I still every single day like kind of sit there for at least a couple of seconds being like, what the hell is this? Like, I can't believe I'm this lucky to be able to do something like this as a job. But yeah, you guys know I love you so much. Like, I'm forever grateful for everything that you have basically enabled me to do. There's never a day that I won't be grateful, and I'm always trying to think of ways to kind of like show my appreciation and like include you guys in this channel and in my life and things like that. So hopefully it comes across that way. If there's anything that you want to see coming up in the future, then let me know, like any like meetups and things like that, or like little parties again, like let me know. But I'm always trying to like think of ideas and ways to sort of make you guys feel appreciated as well, because you definitely make me feel appreciated. So yeah. Right, a couple of people said this as well. You prefer Mads to Rachel, which, like, again, where do you put this stuff from? Like, please tell me. I don't understand. By no means do I prefer any of my friends to any of my friends. Obviously there's people that I spend more time with. Like, I probably spend the most time with Mads at the minute, just because like we both live in Manchester, we live really close by, like we're obviously both self-employed, so we're not always like working like throughout each and every day, if that makes sense. Obviously we're like friends, the three of us as well, so yeah, I feel like that's not true. That's a silly assumption, okay? Saskia said you're good with money. I would say yes and no. I'm actually, do you know what? The thing is, if I put money into a savings account, then it's like I won't touch it. Like, I need to start doing that more, because I'm really good at like, once I've kind of put something away, then I'm very good at like not taking it back out, because I'm like, no, it's there now, keep it there, like it's fine. But I can be quite like spontaneous with like spending money. Like, I'm very impulsive, I guess the word is. Like, if I see something and you know the song, okay? If I see something and I like it, then I kind of like, I'm like, oh, like I kind of have to have it, sort of thing. But to some degree, I feel like I'm pretty good with money. Like, I definitely save money in certain areas where I can then spend it in other areas, if that makes sense. Okay, India said that you've changed a lot. So she's assuming that I've changed. I mean, I always get confused when people say this, because at the end of the day, like, I'm obviously not the same person as I was when I first started this channel. Like, I've grown and like changed in certain ways and things like that. Like, at the minute I actually feel like I have a lot more confidence than I used to. So if that's like maybe a change that people think is bad, then like I don't know what to say. But I like to think that I'm the same person that's just like, I don't know, I always, yeah, try to be like kind to people and things like that, and try to be like a good person when I can be. People are always going to change. That's kind of like one thing that you have to accept in life. And that's like, for example, why some like relationships don't work out, why some friendships work out. Like, when you think about all the people that come in and out of your life, like there's not really many people that stick throughout the whole way, and that's because people are just always growing and changing and developing and whatever it may be. So I feel like I have probably changed, and like hopefully those of you that think I've changed don't think it's like a bad kind of change. You have a secret boyfriend. Do you know what? I don't. And I'm not like speaking to anyone either, because there's a couple of people that asked about that. I'm not speaking to anyone, I'm not seeing anyone, and I don't have a secret boyfriend, so that's the tea on that. Okay, Katrina asked, Katrina assumed you have a lot of filler in your face, which, I mean, do you know what, Katrina? It's true. Okay, well, it's not that true. Obviously, I get my lips done, you guys know that, and you know, if we're going to be sharing and things, I have actually had my cheeks done in the past. I got another assumption about that I've got cheek filler. I have had my cheeks done before. I've had them done probably like, I want to say twice or max 3 times. Like, it's not the sort of thing that you get done very often, but I have had a little bit of filler in my cheeks. If anyone can tell, I've not had it done for many, many months now. So to be honest, it's quite like, it's not quite gone, but it's definitely like nowhere near as like prominent as it used to be. And I've actually had filler in my nose, which, going back to things that I didn't like about myself, like I don't like my nose, which some people I feel like are going to be like, what the hell, because do you know what, it's such a silly thing that like even I know it's a silly thing, but I have like a little bump in my nose, which like you can't see as much at the minute because I've got a tiny little bit of filler left in it, but I actually had like kind of like filler in my nose about, it was nearly a year ago now. I want to say it was like May, June time last year. It lasts very long in your nose, so you don't really have to get it topped up very often, and to be honest, I don't know if I'm going to get it topped up again because I don't actually know if I like the way it looked afterwards, and I've kind of been waiting for it to like go a little bit, but I did get it done just to kind of see what it looked like, because I was actually looking into getting like a nose job, which again, I feel like people are going to watch this and be like, why are you doing that? Like, there's nothing wrong with your nose, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it was just something that bothered me, I guess. So that is my filler secrets. My lips, I obviously get topped up probably every 3 months. My cheeks, if I do get them topped up, it's probably like every 7 months, I would say. And I've had filler in my nose once. So yeah. Okay, Louise said, you don't actually like a lot of people. I feel like this is not true. I'm quite like, do you know what I would say? I'm not a judgmental person. Like, I never judge people on like certain situations. I'm very like open-minded about people, because I feel like with what we do, with like what I do as being like a YouTuber, I feel like it's very easy for people to judge me. So like, I'm always in a situation where I don't judge other people. So it takes me a lot to like dislike someone. You would actually have to like openly do something to like be mean to me or whatever, and do you know what, like not many people have. So Rihanna said, you sometimes want to quit YouTube. Sorry, like I don't know where that burp just came from. I have definitely had stages where I have sat down and been like, do you know what, I'm just done. Like, there's definitely been times where I've just like been so low on like energy, like just exhausted, like mentally, like not even just from YouTube, but just like in life in general, where I've thought, you know what, like I want to quit, but I would not change anything about what I do. Like, I love it so much. I love you guys so much. I love creating content. Like, this is the one thing that I have found in my life that I'm genuinely just so like passionate about, and I just love doing. So even though there's times where I definitely feel quite low and stressed about it, and I feel like it's a hard thing to talk about because it's not really something that everyone can relate to. I feel like people look at what like a YouTuber does and just thinks like, oh, like you live the life, like you're self-employed and you go on holidays and you like get stuff sent to you, and it's just like so much fun. It's kind of hard to talk about it because I feel like people can't like relate when I say like it is also stressful and overwhelming. I definitely like, I don't know, like have stages where I like put myself down a little bit and stuff, so I feel like I've gotten better at that, and it's definitely something that I'm working on, but to some degree that kind of sometimes affects like how much I enjoy doing this. But I don't think I would ever quit, like unless it literally got to the point where, I don't know, I couldn't do it as a job anymore or whatever. I don't think I could quit because I just love it so much, and as I said, I'm so grateful. Honestly, these are actually cracking me up. Nicole said that you get drunk all the time and you just use the tip to get ready with me as an excuse. I actually feel attacked. I feel like it's kind of true, Nicole, okay? I mean, it's kind of true. Like, I do love a good glass of wine, I'm not gonna lie, but no, do you know what? I love filming the tip to get ready with me because I feel like it just adds something to what would otherwise be a normal get ready with me, and I don't know, they seem to do quite well on my channel, so I assume that you guys like watching them as well. And I have to be honest, I do tend to film them before I'm going to go on a night out, because otherwise it's like there's not really much point in me like drinking as I'm getting ready. God, there's so many questions about Jordan, I'm really confused. Like, just because we don't like post together a lot doesn't mean we don't talk almost every single day. Like, guys, it's too much. Okay, so I think that's everything that I'm going to answer for this video. If you want to see a part 2, then let me know, because honestly there's so many questions that I still want to like answer and talk about, and so many assumptions that are still like really interesting. But I have been filming this for an hour now, and I don't even know how I'm going to cut it down to like 25 minutes or however long a video usually is for me. But yeah, if you want to see a part 2, then let me know, because I've actually really enjoyed filming this and kind of addressing some things that you guys may or may not think about me. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna head off now. I'm actually going out with Mads and Rachel this evening. Jordan's not in Manchester, okay, but she would be coming if she was. But yeah, me, Mads and Rach are going out tonight. We're going to Neighbourhood for some drinks and stuff, and I'm actually on BBC Radio tonight, guys, so like that's kind of exciting. But yeah, I really hope you all enjoyed watching. Thank you so much as always. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one.